Hey everybody, welcome to The Raid, the GamerAccess.com's PC gaming podcast. I'm Bronson Fiore, joined by Nick McCandless.
What's up, everybody?
Tony Ta.
Hi.
And Intern001. Where the fuck is my coffee?
I already got you your peppermint mocha, you son of a bitch.
Otherwise known as Ray Joannison.
How you doing, everybody?
I have a feeling Bronson's going way above and beyond and taking far advantage of his power over there.
No, I'm actually pretty lenient.
Yeah, he teaches me editorial skills and I get him coffee. Seems fair.
Trading services, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bremen was here, he would have went on a whole nother route.
I was just thinking that.
But we do not have Bremen on the show.
We need to start punishing him for that.
Use the taser you use on me, on Bremen.
just go over to Bremen's house, podcast with him. Zap.
Yay, free intern 2015.
All right. So anyway, how you guys been? Everyone doing good? Everyone have a good week so far?
I am doing good. Super freaking busy work week, but in a good way. Been rushing, well, not rushing, but trying to get through The Witcher 2 in time for The Witcher 3, which comes out next freaking week. Next time we record the raid, The Witcher 3 will be out, so I know we'll have plenty of Witcher talk going on. Can't freaking wait. But yeah, I'm trying to complete Witcher 2. Such a freaking good game. Such a good game.
I want to get around to it eventually, but like I have Bloodborne and Axiom Verge, and like I've been seeing more stuff about Shovel Knight, and we need a game for 60-minute access, and I'm just sitting here thinking like, well, Shovel Knight looks cool, and there's always too much shit to play. Like I've realized, like
I don't know. I've still been trying to get you on Garden Warfare because that's actually super fun.
Like I have come to the conclusion that that I will never fully finish my pile of shame. Like I've come to that conclusion.
They're just there's just games that you just have to admit defeat and just say I will never.
Unless you win the lottery and then you can just play games 20 hours.
Even then, because new games will always come out, and then I'm a multi-millionaire and I'm spending my time on a yacht or fucking doing God knows what.
Driving your car on a racetrack.
Yeah,
you can do lots of things besides games.
Yeah, like granted, I would totally still play video games, and I would like go buy like.
I know, but if you were a multimillionaire, how could you not resist the urge to take a Dodge Charger Hellcat and take all 700 horsepowers to a drag strip? How can you not do that?
Go to Denver, fly to Denver for the Bronco game every week. Like,
get us box seats.
Yeah, no, fuck box seats. I want like 50-yard line up close.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like box.
Yeah, just don't get taken out. Though.
I will tell you from someone who the company I work for, we did the app for the tennis tournament on Indian Wells. I will say this: for like a football game, yeah, it may be worth like going to like the 50-yard line. But a lot of people are like, why do people want the box seats? Well, I'll freaking tell you why. The box seats is where it's at. Because the box seats, yeah, they're not as close, but they're still freaking good seats. Plus, you have freaking air conditioning. The seats are so much more comfortable. You have like a bar right behind you, and you have immediate access to food. Like, if you want to use the restroom or get food, you don't have to go through all the crazy lines and weave your way in all these people. No, you just walk, you grab it, come back to your seat, and enjoy the event. It's freaking amazing. Box seats is where it's at.
Oh, I'm saying, like, I get why people do it, but, like, I'm totally A-okay. Like, first off, the main sporting events I go to are football and baseball. Baseball, I want to be outside. Like, when it comes to baseball games, I want to be on the outside. As for football games, like, I want to be as close to the action as possible, and I'm, like, I don't mind going up and getting my food. Like, it doesn't, that part never bothered me. Now, for something like tennis, I totally get it. Like, or any sport that I'm not, like, fully engaged in.
Yeah. can see that.
Like, if I was going to a tennis tournament, hell yeah, put me in box seats. You know, same thing with like soccer or Hockey, maybe. Like,
no, you want to be like on the glass in a hockey game.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to be close enough to see the teeth get crushed in their mouth. I've been to hockey games. It's exciting when you see someone get freaking smashed.
Football games are awesome close up. They're so cool.
I haven't been to one of those.
Anyway, you guys been playing any PC games? Anyone?
I played a
just
little bit
The
more
Witcher 2 for me. Just The Witcher 2.
Yeah, like for me, it's like I played the tutorial Galactic Civilizations 3, so I could finally understand more about how that game works and how to properly declare warfare or invade planets. It's great when you have a tutorial, because when I did the older beta, oh my god, I had no idea what I was doing half the time. I only knew what to do half the things. So there was that on the PC. Final Fantasy 14. Hey Bronson, you know how you talked about that point in the MMO where everyone just leaves the game because they don't have anything to do anymore? Yeah. It's hitting really hard right now.
Yeah.
And I literally had people come up to me and tell me, oh, I need challenge. I need to do the hardest raid in the game because that's the only challenge I have left. And I'm like, oh man, this is exactly what Bronson's talking about. Like, everyone's just kind of done because they applied the retard buff to just about everything now. So, you know, once you beat everything, you've kind of beat everything.
Yeah, like, it's the same thing that, like, is happening in WoW right now when it's like we're in between big patches, and like most people have finished Blackrock Foundry that are hardcore raiders, and they're waiting for Tanan Jungle and all that stuff. Like, if you're like me where you're behind, then fuck yeah, I'm still playing it. You know, I would still be playing if I didn't have to, you know, spend money on other stuff right now, but like, you know, I'm still grinding for my legendary ring. I'm still working on the current raid tier. So it's not really, like, for me, it's not really a problem, but for like people who are all caught up right now, they're like, where's 6.2? Where's 6.2? Where's 6.2?
Yeah, like all they can really do is just help people with older stuff and easier stuff, and
or if you're really into it, you can go back and do like, oh, go do all the quests in this area, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, but I noticed that a lot of high-end raiders, they don't really step down.
No, they just dungeons. they pure, or
because,
you know,
because here's the thing, they already got all their top-end gear, so what's the point of doing a dungeon? Like, well, or at least that's kind of some of the logic I noticed, because they're just all like, well, I already have all this super high-end gear from high-end raids, why should I step down and do dungeons for this currency that's not going to get me anything better unless it's best in slot?
I think that's one thing that Warcraft is really good about, because outside of the raids and PvP, there's like, go do the lore master to get this title or this mount, or go do this raid in this specific way to get this thing. There's a lot, you know, there's a lot more to that game than just the raiding and the PvP, though those are the main chunks that people play. But like, I remember back when we were waiting for Cataclysm, Ben went out and got Lore Master. Would you remember what Lore Master is? It's to do almost every single quest in every zone in the game. I have Lore Master for one continent, almost 2 out of the 6. Or actually now 7. So, like, I definitely see that point, though, but, like, if you're a hardcore raider, that's all you do, and right now there's nothing for you to do. But if you're that person who is more casual with the game, you could probably still find stuff to do.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, like, Heaven's Ward is just over a month away. I think the regular release comes out on the same day as Batman, so...
That was a bad choice, but okay.
Well, here's the thing. Final Fantasy is not that huge anyways. Yeah, they probably have about 1 million players, but it's not the hugest of the huge, and honestly, I don't think they're really too concerned.
Yeah.
It's like, do Pokemon people really care that it sits on the same day as an Uncharted game? Probably not, because the audiences are maybe very different, and there's probably a little bit of overlap. I mean, yeah. It's like, here's the thing. People who buy Heaven's Ward are very, very much likely the people who enjoyed the first Final Fantasy. And it's not like you're going to be, like, left out. You're going to come back and catch up with everyone else in a couple months. No big deal. It's an MMO, so I just kind of feel like different things apply. Let's how I look at it.
Yeah, I know that like there's typically very little crossover. I know for me there is personally. So when a WoW expansion comes out, I typically do have to wait against something. This past time that didn't happen. This past time it didn't happen. Past 2 times. I remember when Wrath came out, like a bunch of stuff came out. I was like, shit, do I get Wrath or all this other stuff? Anyway, speaking of Warcraft, we have 2 news stories related to it. The raid's going back to its roots for a little bit.
Yeah, and this is where I just go completely kaput.
Nick, you want to play Warcraft? You want to? I'm
good.
You want
play a little WoW?
You want a Hitman? You want to?
You want to raid?
You want to do some of that WOW?
See, here's the thing though, is that I tried Warcraft and I just didn't get hooked for that long. I'm just like, I can't think of a reason to come back. But Garrison, so, but this, no, but better loop, so. Like, I haven't came back since I initially hit the level cap in Mists of Pandaria like 3 years ago.
I think for me, like, I'm the same way with DC Universe. I think I'm very much a mechanics guy first, and WoW has the best mechanics of any MMO out right now. And I like the aesthetic a lot. But if you don't like the aesthetic of that game, I can see why you would go to Final Fantasy or DC Universe. Like, I know people who love DC Universe. Like, they love that game, and it's superhero WoW is what it is. I know my friend Parker fucking loses his shit over the Old Republic. Like, that is Star Wars WoW is what it is. It's... granted, I think if you played that game, you would find garrisons to be crack. Because garrisons are pure just like, it's a constant feedback loop, and you don't need to sink much time into it. Like, when I was still paying for my account, I would log into the game, queue up all my garrison shit, and then log off for 12 hours and not have to worry about it. But anyway, the 2 pieces of news. Blizzard has suspended and dropped the banhammer on a large number of World of Warcraft accounts found to be using bots to automate their gameplay. According to the screen capture of a GM posted to Imager, the suspensions will be for at least 6 months and affect 100,000 accounts. It isn't just people using it's not just hardcore PvP botters, but using any bots to automate tasks.
So, like a bot that flies around a certain zone mining certain ores, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically so they can just leave it on and gather what they need. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I see why they did it, because like botting can fuck up so many things, like the PvP community, the economy in those games. Like, botting can fuck up a lot of shit. So, like, this doesn't really bother me.
Look, here's the thing. If you're looking to crash the price of an item, you don't need a bot to do that. Because I had a pal that back when he was still playing WoW, he would go around the Outlands mining corium. And he would mine so much corium that he effectively managed to, by himself, wreck the price of corium completely on his entire server. And he didn't need a bot to do that.
I did that back in Vanilla Warcraft when I was leveling... when I was leveling, 47 to 50, there weren't many zones with quests I could do. So I went and grinded dragons in Blackrock Steppes, and I just got tons and tons and tons of leather, and would always lowball the person ahead of me by a gold or 2, and I made a fortune and crashed the price of leather. So there you go, kids. How to ruin the economy in an MMO.
Yeah, see, there's no market regulations. Think about that.
Oh, yeah, you really want to crash the economy.
Let's do supply and demand.
Let's do this stupid shit our government's doing where they're putting $15 minimum wage. That's not gonna spark inflation at all.
Let's stay away from this topic. This is gonna go.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna stay away because I already can tell that Bronson's in favor of it, and it's.
Oh, I am not in favor of that.
It's just the amount of fire. It's politics.
Yeah,
you're lighting a fuse to a giant dynamite box.
I'm just gonna say this: if you're a fan of $15 wage, you better be a fan of the freaking dollar menu turn into the $3 menu. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, here's my thing. I think it should be higher than $7.25. I just don't think it should be 15.
Oh, I agree with higher.
There should be a nice middle ground.
Let's shoot for Ray and I's current wage of $9.25.
Yeah.
That's all right.
That's $9.50. Let's give him extra quarter for that Big Mac.
Yeah, like because I make $9.25, and that is effective. Like it might as well be minimum wage. Like it's above it, but that's because if Ray and I were on minimum wage, we'd starve to death.
Yeah,
anyway.
but we'll stay away from the politics. But
yeah, this is so much fun. But
bot usage, gold sellers.
Yeah, there are people who have used MMOs to simulate real economies and do studies on them. It's really fascinating.
It's also really fascinating that when the game. I actually remember I read the wiki article about this, and this is before I even was aware of how World of Warcraft actually is. Is that I read this wiki thing where there was a bug in the game where this certain debuff or virus escaped the dungeon and it spread like the plague, and it was like the plague, and there were people just dropping dead entire people dropping dead in cities, and everyone's panicking. All the researchers were like, we must study the social effects of people dying. Load up the game.
I was around when that happened. It was the last boss of Zul'Gurub, and what would happen is there's this buff that just dropped your health. I forgot how it exactly worked, but like it went out of the raid with people. If you were a raider, it was annoying. Like you had to drink a potion every now and then, or just deal with it. Like if you were like a low level person in town, like that killed you almost instantly. So like when that was going on, like I had to hop on when I was on my alt, I just hung out in the forest or like in the desert.
Did you?
Like I just stayed out in the middle of nowhere, just like
there's a plague.
I'm not leaving Tanaris. I am staying in the middle of this fucking desert. Fuck that.
Yeah. So. Oh my goodness, it's like studying economies, like freaking when you're talking about servers filled with hundreds of thousands of people running that auction market with like probably no regulations other than you can't sell certain items. It's really interesting. Because and it changes from servers to server too. Like on one server you could have this particular item be extremely valuable, but then on the next server it's like completely worthless and the market has crashed so hard. And, you know, a population of a server can play an effect on the price of items, too. Crazy stuff.
So, the other piece of news isn't as serious, though. They have added a new mount to the Blizzard store, the Mystic Rune Saber. It is a flying cat made of arcane energy. It's, like, all purple with, like, this magical...
Sounds like some shit Bronson would enjoy.
It looks cool. Like Ray, I showed Ray the trailer.
Yeah, that actually looks really interesting.
Like it has.
Like, I like the fact that it can lose its wings and run super quick too. Because I'm not always in the mood to fly.
Yeah.
I like enjoying the scenic route.
Yeah.
The beautiful mountain scenery.
Why take the airplane when you can take the road trip?
Exactly. And I would walk 500.
As always, it works on all your characters. It automatically goes to whatever your highest flying skill is or riding skill. And sorry,
I was gonna say you forgot to mention the nice Bluetooth capabilities in its headset. It plays all the MP3s.
As is with almost every other mount, it's $25, but Blizzard is 110. Tends to do sales, so don't worry, you'll get it cheap. This is the 10th paid mount you can buy in the game. So the other ones all actually look really cool as well. So yeah. Ray just stared at them like, what do you think?
Mainly because besides like the weird unicorn donkey thing, I can't tell what really any of them are. I'm just like, that one looks neat. And that one just looks like...
That one?
Like if Pegasus from Hercules started turning invisible, that would be the Celestial Steed.
So it's a constellation, but as a mount. Yeah, like if he never turned into a full horse.
Yeah.
The one they gave you for pre-ordering Warlords early was this one.
The
Warforged Nightmare. And then this one was really popular. It was the golden Chinese dragon.
I don't know why, but what was it? Armored Bloodwing looks really kind of intense.
Yeah, it's a giant bat.
Yeah, like if I saw someone flying on that, I'd be like, I should stay away from them.
Yeah, I almost considered buying that for my Death Knight, but then I remembered I never play my Death Knight.
Death Knight seems like a fun class.
It's interesting. I know my class of preference is Warrior and Mage, which I actually kind of want to get this Mystic Runesaber for my Mage.
Mine would probably be Hunter and Deathwing. I'm back in Hunter because her stone, y'all.
Anyway, moving forward. That's cool. I think it's a cool mount. Good on them for adding more. And people who bitch about like, oh, this should be something you can earn in game. This game has like literally hundreds of mounts you can earn in game that are just as awesome. Go grind for the Phoenix mount. There you go. That Phoenix is the coolest mount in game, and it has a 0.3% drop rate.
That Phoenix is freaking badass. I saw that in the Heroes of the Storm 2, the new playable character. He summons the Phoenix, and it's so cool.
Yeah, I guess I'll talk about that. Yeah, like we played some Heroes of the Storm past couple days, and the new character, as Anthony saw, is Kelthus.
Crazy Blood Elf Prince.
Yeah, and his special ability is to summon a Phoenix to attack people.
His pet Phoenix.
Yeah, his personal Phoenix.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
And it's not an Ice Phoenix or a Thunder Phoenix. As I keep telling Bronson, it's a Fire Phoenix.
Well, no.
He didn't know it bursts into flames.
No, I knew it burst into flames. It's just like sometimes when they do Phoenix, they do like what looks
bird.
A beautiful bird and not a
fiery
fucking just
engulfed beautiful bird.
Yeah.
That's how I've always known Phoenix is a fire bird.
But yeah, they showed him, they showed his skins. His title is the Sun King. He's relatively high on complexity to play. He does amazing damage, and he's set as an assassin. Which means he's, he does damage.
He's a blood elf. He just needs more fell magic to just nuke everything, or try to.
Yeah.
Until he soaks up too much and then goes completely crazy.
I still like the last character they put into the game, Sylvanas, because of her second level 10 ability is you can force an enemy minion to fight for you. It gains 20% attack damage and health. So
that could be really destructive if you got like the super minion.
Yeah, if you got like if you got like one of the really dangerous ones,
like the ones you have to summon.
Yeah, like that.
Would it work on that?
I'm not sure. I'll try that.
Yeah, but if so, that'd be so OP.
I really like on the website and even in the game itself, you can check the complexity of certain characters to play. Like the Lost Vikings are like the most complex to play. Diablo is like middle of the road. I'm trying to find somebody who's simple. Like Uther is definitely simple. He's low. He's definitely low on the tier.
Go to Uther then if you're looking for someone.
I'm looking for someone else though. Like Muradin's relatively simple. Arthas is relatively simple.
Isn't Tyrael supposed to be, or not Tyrael, Murky?
No, Murky's supposed to be hard as hell to play.
Really?
Yeah, he's near max.
Oh wow.
Thought
I saw last. Oh, that's his survivability was low. I thought it was the other one.
Yeah. Which that makes sense. That survivability is garbage.
Because he has like 6 health.
Yeah. But no, they've done a lot of cool stuff on like there's specialists, there's damage dealers, and you got like once again, this is like the first MOBA that I'm like getting super into.
Yeah.
Because Dota was really cool and I liked the depth of Dota, but it was just dude, like you need to dedicate your life to that fucking game. And then League's god awful community that just is a blight on humanity. Just no, thank you. Then I just didn't like it as much as I liked Dota, really, and I like this game way more than either of those games. So I don't know. That's my Heroes of the Storm check-in. Goes into open beta in like 3 days. So hey guys, since it's an open beta now, Nick, you should give it a try. Try it, man. Just try it. You tried Hearthstone. Wasn't that magical? Wasn't that magical? Wouldn't you like that
H?
Yeah, you like that H? Try to HOS.
Try that WOW.
Yeah, then we can graduate you up to WOW or D3, maybe SC2.
There's some LOL if you really want to get serious.
You know, if you want the real stuff though.
Anger, rage.
Yeah, man, if you want the real stuff though, you need that DOTA2.
Or that LOL.
But nah, man. But Nick, here's the storm, man. Just try that tutorial. We'll do a couple co-op games with you. Then we'll go online, take it on the show, on the road. Be real good. Anyway, we got a couple of news stories though. Unless you gentlemen have played anything on PC besides The Witcher and Galactic Civilization.
No, what I will say, and I was playing on my phone, but it was on PC, so Hearthstone really freaking pissed me the hell off this weekend, okay? So I was over at my girlfriend's, but my girlfriend was working. She was working, and I spent a decent amount of time playing Hearthstone. Freaking, so I got enough gold to get the first wing in Naxxramas.
Oh, right. You told us about this.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, because Bronson said that, if you complete the heroics, you get new cards. I'm like, fucking
I thought
sweet.
you got new cards, but you get new card backs. That's so cool.
Yeah, so I was like, let me do this. So I fucking went through hell, literal hell, to beat those fucking 3 heroics. And I was like, okay, tell me some good shit. And I was literally just staring at the screen for a good 10 seconds waiting for it to show me the cards I got. And nothing fucking happened. I'm like, you are fucking kidding me. So I looked online. Sure enough, first of all, you have to defeat all the heroics for the entire story, not just the one wing. But not only that, you get nothing but a freaking card back. I don't give a shit about a freaking card back. So I was like, fuck. I was so pissed. I was like, fucking hell. I was like, oh well. I was like, I'm not doing any more heroics because those things were fucking miserable. Those things are downright miserable.
And with that too, I was really curious because of how Bronson was hyping it. So I actually was like, fuck it. I bought Blackrock Manor in that, like the $25 for all the wings. And those are the most difficult things and the most bullshit quests ever.
Oh, they're not that hard. At least Max wasn't.
Certain ones are just like,
try doing the heroics and you'll just kill yourself.
There's the 3 modes, and I did the first ones kind of recently. I'm up to the top now, and I just can't beat the bosses for the most part. But like the next one, it's just like, every time I start my turn, I can summon 3 monsters with 7 attack and 7 defense, and they all have charge.
That's like the thing with.
And I'm just like, how?
You need to build a deck around it. Like you can't use.
That's what you have to analyze what they're doing and just completely take it down because for example, one of the heroics I did, their power was remove 2 random minions. So you have to play a deck where you take advantage of that because it's wait a second. So you're telling me that, but they go back into my deck. So it's okay, let me get a bunch of cards that have for example, I forgot the name of the card, but one of them's restore 6 health to your hero. And then there's the cheap ones is restore 2 health. So you just keep putting those on the damn field and you summon them and you get that health back, but then it goes back into your hands. You just keep playing them over and over again. You have to completely build your deck around every single one of them. You have to build specifically for their power, otherwise it's impossible. They're freaking ridiculous. Yeah. That's why I was just I went through all of that for absolutely freaking nothing. I was screw that shit. At least fucking give me some gold or something. God.
Yeah,
I was I should have freaking researched it and made sure that I got something. Otherwise, I want to put myself through that hell.
Yeah, being with living with Bronson helps because I can see his play style. I'm I copied his mage deck of pretty much I'm gonna hurt you every turn somehow. You're not gonna take a turn without damage, and it helps a lot.
Yeah, I like playing with the hunter because you can freaking really stack those beasts really good.
Hunter's my main too. I love the hunter.
I love my mage deck is my favorite, but that paladin, man.
I like the druid too. I like the fact of being able to heal myself.
Druid, and you can also stack that armor really high too.
Oh yeah.
Like if you are playing a turtle deck and you keep using his special ability while throwing out minions, like you can have 10 armor.
There's also minions that boost armor. Like have 10 armor if your field is clear when playing.
Yeah, like all those together, just man. Anything else on Hearthstone, gents? Anthony, you play it yet? Nope. So Capcom currently has a sale going on Steam that is going through the weekend, so you'll have 2 more days about to get this. It is $40, and you get, hold on, Devil May Cry, like the new one, Resident Evil 6, Dead Rising 2, Resident Evil Revelations, which is the best Resident Evil since 4, Remember Me, Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, Lost Planet, Bionic Commando, and Bionic Commando Rearmed.
Wait, you get all that for $40?
Yep.
Damn.
Also, some other notable sales they have. Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition is $25. Remember Me is $6. Ultra Street Fighter 4 is $15. Dead Rising 3 is $25. The entire Dead Rising 2 and 3 together are $30. Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 together are $23. Strider is $7.50. The Resident Evil HD remaster is $15 instead of $20. Resident Evil 4 is $8 instead of $20. Resident Evil 5 is $6.80 instead of $20. Devil May Cry 3 is $5 instead of, I believe, $15 or $20. DuckTales is $7.50 instead of $15. And you can get all the Street Fighter costumes for $7.50 if you don't know them. So good ass sale going on there.
Cool.
Another Steam sale that's going on is Iceberg Interactive Publisher Weekend, which they do a bunch of space sims, so you can get Gas Guzzlers Extreme, Horizon, Nuclear Dawn, Star Drive 2, and Starpoint Gemini 2, Inside My Radio, and a couple of other games for like relatively low prices. In some cases, 80% off. So yeah. None of the games on my current wish list are for sale, sadly.
I'm ready for the summer sale. It's gonna be the first big sale since I hadn't built my PC.
Yeah, Stanley Parable. That's like I'm like in the sale this summer. I'm looking to get the Stanley Parable, Audio Surf 2, maybe Shogun, maybe Game of Thrones, Broken Age, and Metal Gear. And I can probably walk away with all those games for like $30. Because almost all of them are indie games and those get massive cuts during Steam sales. Anyway. So that's that. Next news story is Telltale. They mainly make PC games. You can play a point-and-click adventure game on a console, but it's more at home on a PC. Yes, I realize I am stretching this topic, by the way. Telltale has confirmed The Walking Dead Season 3 will not come out this year and will come out in 2016.
Aww.
The follow-up, let's see. There may be a DLC for Season 2, though. Walking Dead Season 1 was super goddamn amazing. Season 2 was really good, not as amazing. So I'm down for more Walking Dead.
I haven't played any of the Telltale games yet.
I'm with Nick on this one.
You should. They're all really good. You can play them here because I have you can play Walking Dead here because I have it on PS3 also. And I have pretty much everything they've done except Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
And Nick, you would like Tales from the Borderlands. It's their Borderlands point-and-click adventure game. It's hilarious.
I can agree with that one. I watched it. It was great.
Yeah, like you watched me play it, and
it was really funny.
Like that game, like because Handsome Jack comes back to life as like an
like
AI.
He's basically Church.
Like he's an AI in this one character's head, and this one character's the only one who can see him, and he just keeps talking to him about shit.
Like he'll do random things. Like he'll do a lot of inappropriate gestures
to
other people who can't see him.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, "Why are you looking down there?" And it'll pop up options of why you're staring at a certain player's crotch, and it's like, "Nothing. Your fly's down. I'm sorry."
No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yangtze will not forget this.
Or no, we'll try and forget this for that one.
He will try and forget this.
Yeah.
But he'll just try and convince you to do really terrible things.
Yeah. Like, he just tries to convince you to do the worst shit imaginable. I always liked Handsome Jack as a character. In general. He is fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Butt Stallion, come here, girl. It's my own horse made of diamonds. I actually saw this really good video on why Handsome Jack is not a bad guy. It's really neat.
Really?
Yeah, I will show it to you.
You'll have to.
It will fucking blow your mind. It is awesome.
My mind will be blown.
Yeah, just like, what? Oh my god, it's right. Handsome Jack, no! You're not a monster. You're not.
Just the way you said that. I also like the cast they got for Tales.
Yeah.
That is like an all-star. That's like the Ratchet and Clank cast.
They got
Crunk.
Nolan North, Patrick Warburton, Troy Baker, Anthony, who was the voice of Fem Chef?
Freaking Nolan North and Troy Baker and fucking everything.
The voice actor for Female Shepherd was Jennifer Hale.
Jennifer Hale is they got
the cast.
They got a legit ass cast of voice actors for this game. Like, once again, if you like the humor in Borderlands, check out Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah,
it is funny. It is probably gonna I know it's early, but I really do think it is gonna win funniest game of the year this year.
I also just like the fact of it, like really tense moments if there's other people around, like when you're trying to like carve out an eyeball, they're just like, don't mess up. Like they'll shout it at you like while you're trying to be precise, and if you mess up, you kill. It's just
Then like you find out like that guy there wasn't dead.
Yeah, like you were taking out like the eyeballs of a guy and
who was in suspended animation. Like, oh no, he's aware of all this too. Oh god, that was an
intense scene.
Yeah, that game was great. The game was super good. So, gentlemen, who here is interested in Rainbow Six Siege?
I am.
I am if I have people to play it with.
As long as it's as good as the other Rainbow Six.
Once again, I hate playing those games by myself.
Yeah.
I don't like playing them alone, but them co-op is super fun. Like just breaching into buildings and stuff. So, if this is a co-op,
where are you running?
Yeah, if this is a co-op game, I'm totally into it. What about you, Anthony?
Co-op can be really good if done right.
Yeah,
that's always how I always feel about co-op. Like Portal 2, if you have like special missions that are co-op, like instead of like, okay, yeah, Halo Reach, but it was like basically the campaign with more people. Whereas with Portal 2, it was like
that can still be fun, but the campaign itself has to be good.
Yeah, but in the case of like Portal 2, it was like its own entire set of levels.
Yeah,
designed specifically.
Or if you design the whole
people or something.
Or if you design the whole game around it, like Borderlands or like some or any MMO really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's coming out October 13th. Day before my birthday, so that's neat.
Yeah, we know what you're getting for your birthday.
Probably not this.
No.
I probably
you probably just look confused if this is.
I'm just like, it was like, okay, I'll play it if you want to play it with me. But yeah, I would definitely say thank you. Like, it looks like a cool game, and I'm not an inconsiderate asshole. But yeah, it looks interesting. I'm just not the biggest Rainbow Six fan. Anyway, last news story I have here. That Nick has one. Windows 10 will be the last version of Microsoft's long-running line of operating systems, according to company executive Jerry Nixon. During a Microsoft Ignite conference last week, Nixon explained that there may not be a successor to Windows 10. That doesn't mean the Windows platform won't be disappearing anytime soon. Rather than release an entirely new OS in a few years' time, Microsoft plans to build upon and refine Windows 10 through incremental upgrades. It means a more dynamic and flexible platform going forward. The company has yet to release a firm date for Windows 10, but a report from AMD has it believed available for PC users by the end of July.
So this is actually kind of interesting because so they're going the route kind of where Apple's gone. Like Apple's always been cheaper with the operating systems. Even when they used to charge, like if you wanted to upgrade your operating system, you paid like $20 or $30. Now it's just completely free. But the difference here, and it really surprises me with Microsoft, because it's like, it's great for us. It's like, sweet, everyone has Windows 7, Windows 8. We'll be able to upgrade as long as we upgrade within the first year. So it's like, freaking hell yeah. And
I wonder how
it
that's
looks like they're
work,
just going to focus on Windows 10, and that's going to be the one operating system, which, once again, that's great. But it's like, I wonder where Microsoft really sees the advantage here, because you have to look at like Apple. Apple's completely different. Because the reason why people buy MacBooks or Apple computers is because of Mac OS. If you could put the Mac operating system on a PC,
fuck yeah,
people, and you can like Hackintosh and stuff, but it's not the real thing. But it's just like, people wouldn't buy Apple computers. They wouldn't. Like, yeah, the build quality is amazing, and they're super, super nice computers, but people buy it for the operating system.
Oh, absolutely. Like, when
So there's a reason, so there's a reason why Apple, because if they release this update for free, well, guess what? People are going to be like, so if I buy an Apple computer, Apple's going to keep updating it for free. I'm going to stick with Apple. Microsoft's charging for this. Microsoft's charging with that. With Apple, I don't. But with, like, Windows, it's different. Like, Windows... The reason why how they make their money, majority of it is because every computer that's sold, those companies are paying Microsoft a small amount to be able to license that software. Now, obviously, that's probably going to stay the same. You're still going to have to pay to use it. But it's just like, it seems like there's less money in it for Microsoft. But I don't know, at the same time, it's like, so many people were pirating Windows, and maybe this is kind of their way to hopefully convert some people from pirating that, hey, maybe if I just buy the operating system, I won't have to buy it again in a couple years. They're just going to keep supporting it. So I think it's great. I mean, with Apple and their Mac, they've been on version 10 for years and years and years. And yeah, every single year they release like a new update. Like right now they're doing like various...
What's the current one called?
Like, they used to be they named them after different like
cats, like leopard, like cats,
like
there was like that.
There was like snow leopard and mountain lion and stuff like that. Now they're doing California cities. So they started out with the last one, which was Mavericks, and now the latest one is called Yosemite. So when they announce their next version, which we'll talk about in my news story, it'll probably be whatever. It'll be Fresno, or I don't know. Fresno's ugly, so probably not. So
San Francisco.
No, that's a bad name to call it, though.
Yeah.
I could see them using Cupertino. Cupertino sounds good. That's where they're located, but Mac operating San Francisco, this doesn't sound right. Like Maverick sounds good. Yosemite sounds good. I think Cupertino would sound good. Who knows?
There's a lot of.
Yeah, I don't like. I worked on Macs in college. That's my primary experience with them. I loved that OS. I loved it. I love the build quality of the hardware. But like I like playing games. If you want to play games, like you can't really play games on a Mac. I mean, you can, but it's going to cost you like 4 times as much as it would a PC. Because like, hold on, what is the best Mac video card you can do right now? Like, it's from their Mac Pro, obviously. Give me.
It's some like Crossfire AMD setup. I don't remember what cards they are though. Like Macs are great, like for gaming.
Hold on, I found it. A dual AMD Fire Pro D500 with 3 gigs of DDR5 in each. And then if you go their low level one, it's dual. It's the same thing, crossed either. Like I guess like. Those seem like sort of okay video cards.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good video card setup, but it's not. I mean, for the amount you pay for it,
for $4,000.
Well, yeah, I mean, my PC, like once I added the second 980, my PC pretty much cost $3,000, and my PC would blow that out the water.
Yeah, like that's so if you're looking for games, like the only person who would buy this is someone who wants a fucking workstation. Like that's
Well, yeah, I mean, for like doing, if you're like, here's the thing, if you want a PC game, Windows is where you go, because even with like the game, like put hardware aside, the game selection, very few games release on Mac the same day they do as PC. They usually come out like a year or two later, if they ever even come out. Like yeah, like your games like The Sims and stuff like that. Yeah, of course.
Blizzard does everything on Mac. I know for sure.
Oh yeah. So for those games, if those are the only games you play, sure, but you're hardcore, like you're not gonna get Batman or The Witcher, like you're not gonna get that.
No, you're not getting it day one. Like they eventually port over, but like Grand Theft Auto.
I don't think they'll ever. I honestly don't think they'll ever.
No, I swear to God, those get ported over. Because hold on, I'm gonna check Batman.
Batman
right
maybe, The Witcher no.
I'll check The Witcher 2. Hold on. Let me check
I know Bioshock 2 came out on Mac like a year and a half, 2 years after it came out on PC.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's coming soon. I am saying that it will come. If you build it, they will come. Yeah, it comes. It's on OS X eventually. Like yeah, The Witcher 2 is on OS X.
Oh really?
Yeah, you can get it to run it on recommended. You need a GTX 675 MX.
Well, I didn't know that, but
and that's to run it on 1080p on medium, and Intel integrated chips are not supported for that. So
yeah.
Well,
yeah, it's just I put it this way, and it's exactly why I have the setup I do. Okay, I have my desktop. I only use it for gaming because my personal feeling, Mac is better than PC in every single thing besides gaming. As far as a workstation, when it comes to video editing, audio production, development, photo, like just everything is so much better because of the operating system. Like Windows, like even with this PC, okay, this $3,000 PC, my Mac still operates better than my PC in some things. And it's just
so what you need to do is dual boot with a Hackintosh. There you go.
But the thing is, my MacBook I can carry around and all that. I like that's why like I said, my gaming PC is pretty much a console. It's just a freaking monstrous console is what it is. My MacBook, everything else. That's what I work on. My email, everything is on my MacBook.
You want to know what I actually have considered? Like, my mom's been wanting a desktop, like something to do computing on more than her phone, right? And like I've considered like a Mac Mini. Like it's $500, and that do everything she needs, plus be a simpler interface.
Yeah, the Mac Minis are great if you're not doing like gaming or video editing. Then those things are great.
Yeah, like those things are like they're so tiny
small.
Too.
You can like, literally just carry those around.
Like I have a friend who is an artist, and I went over and I was hanging out at her place. Well, her and another friend of mine, Kevin's place, and like I saw one of those in person for the first time. I was like, holy shit. That thing is tiny. It is so unbelievably small.
Yeah, those things are great because it's just like you could literally like, hey, like E3 for example, you could literally just put that thing in your backpack and carry it with you. Yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to do like video editing, it's not going to be the best, but if you're doing like just editorial, like yeah, I mean, you just freaking take that sucker, hook it up to a screen. I mean, they're super compact.
I mean, like, if I had unlimited money, though, to blow on things like that, like, if I needed a travel machine to edit at E3 and stuff, I'd just get a MacBook Air. Like, that's where I'd go on that route.
Yeah, but even the MacBook Pro is much better for that. But the Airs, I mean, you can do. I mean, if you're editing, as long as you're not editing, like, 4K or anything, like, the MacBook Airs at this point are just fine.
Well, yeah,
the MacBook Airs, you can't get i7 with those. I don't think you have to go Pro.
No, you have to go 5s. But no, I'm saying like for what I do, like editorial and maybe audio shit.
Yeah,
that's fine. Like, oh man, I'll play Hearthstone maybe if we get extra time. Like, oh god, that's gonna eat up all my I don't know.
Yeah, like ever since I got my MacBook, it's just like I could not ever freaking work on a PC ever again in my life. Like it's just like unless Windows completely turns shit around and Apple just goes right down the shitter. It's just like it all comes down to the fact that, and then Apple always had this advantage. People complain that, oh, Apple, you can't build your own PC. Apple, there's limited hardware options. And that's why the operating system is so great, because Apple knows every single piece of hardware and they've optimized the operating system for that. That's why you will see, I see it all the time when I go to the airport or a Starbucks, you'll see people with those like plastic white and black MacBooks. Those things are now like 7, 8 years old, and those things are still operating just fine. Like I said, if you're doing video editing or gaming, absolutely not. But everything else, those things are still smooth and working just fine. Like my MacBook, this summer, I would have had it for 3 years, and it does not feel a tad bit dated. Not at all.
Oh,
even
yeah.
with video editing,
versus
all that stuff.
My old Alienware that I had back in I got it in January 2011. When I got rid of it in December of 2013, like that thing just felt so fucking old for what I wanted to do. And for the person who I sold it to, that was like a new computer to him. That blew his out of the water. But for what I was doing, like it was just like, Christ, everything takes forever.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing with my Mac, and that's the thing, like, I'll always applaud. It's the same thing, it works the same way with their iPhone. I won't go into that, but it's just, it's totally different. Like, with Windows, like I said, you can have the most expensive computer, and you're still going to get that fucking rotating circle for no absolute freaking reason. Mac, their equivalent of that is like the little spinning beach ball. That almost never comes up for me, and I'll have so many things going on at the same time. So it's just like, I mean, as far as the operating system goes, there's just really no comparison. The only major difference is that PC is where you go for gaming. There's no competition in the realm of gaming. You have to go PC.
Like I said, if I had unlimited cash, like unlimited money, I would build an amazing desktop for games, and then for like when I go to E3, all that other shit, if I needed a real computer and I couldn't work on a tablet, I would absolutely work on a MacBook Air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I got my MacBook Pro and I built my desktop. Like I said, my desktop, it's the only time it's ever on is when it's gaming. Everything else it's my MacBook, and that's what I use for everything. When we go to these events, that's what I edit video on. Like I said, I do all my work on it. I mean, it does everything I need it to do, and it just, like I said, it's 3 years old, and it still functions like a brand new computer.
Anyway, Anthony, sorry.
The thing is that you like I hear this talk, it's just like, oh, Mac runs so well, oh, Mac has so much power, oh, Mac is so perfectly optimized, nothing could ever go wrong in the land of magical Apple. But
no, like I admit there are problems with Apple. The number one is price.
Here's the thing, though. I sort of agree, but sort of disagree. Why I agree? Well, an Apple kind of consistently runs well. The Windows computer just... They're filled with bloatware, and over time they eventually slow down. And my argument is, well, a Windows can stay pretty darn up to date and run pretty fast and do 17 things at once with no problem whatsoever if you maintain it, which is the part that people don't know how to do. Yeah, which is where the Mac actually... Where I would agree that the Mac is probably easier to use and can maintain its performance for longer is because, like, freaking Windows 7 PC, Windows 7 is supposedly a great operating system, and I'm sure it's a great operating system, and I do think it's a great operating system, but I've seen so many Windows 7 PCs take forever to turn on.
Mine included.
Yeah, like, take ages to turn on, and I just tell myself, oh, I can get this thing to boot like it's fresh and brand new, just clean out lots of junky old files it doesn't have anymore, defragment a hard drive, do this, and do this. There you go. Sped it up a lot better now. But, well, the thing is you have to know how to do that.
Yeah, like, here's the thing.
I've done it to so many computers that to me it's just second nature, but to a lot of people, they don't know how to do it.
Do you know when the last time, like, I try and defrag my hard drive about once a month and then run a cleaner and a virus scan. Yeah, like, and I have some of that shit auto set, so it takes care of it for me. But even then, though, like, that's more maintenance than I want to do, but, you know, But then I look at the price of what I would have to pay for an equivalent Mac. Like I bought the best gaming laptop I could buy for my budget of the time, which was around $1,700. I got this thing for $1,500, and to get an equivalent Mac, which would have been a MacBook Pro, and not even an equivalent because it wouldn't have as good of a video card. It would have cost me $2,500. It would have been $1,000 more for. I would have gotten flash storage, so I would have had a faster hard drive with less space. Same processor, slower memory, and a far, far worse video card with slightly better battery life. So it really does come out down to the operating system on that case, because I mean, and if I wanted something with the form factor, and another part of it was form factor, because I realized if I wanted something with the form factor of a MacBook Pro, my only option is the Razer Blade, which for a Blade with the specs of my computer, or whatever this year's current version would be, it'd be $2,600. Now, form factor is what causes a lot of price issues, people.
The thing with the MacBook, I mean, you look at your standard laptop, they're like plastic and they just feel cheap. But with the MacBook Pro, it's like aluminum and the build quality is on a whole nother level.
Yeah, I remember, it's the same thing with those Razer Blades. Like, Ray, I just worked on his laptop recently. It's a plastic piece of shit.
Yay!
Well... Yeah, that was, man, those were some really bad days.
Like my Alienware is a better build quality than that. It has aluminum aluminum.
You can kind of tell that Apple had an influence on the future of even laptop computers because everything is trying to be more upscale at a lower cost. And you wonder, why is it more upscale? Because it used to be HP sold a lot of cheap plastic parts that just happened to be called computers. Just happen to be called computers, but all of a sudden they're like, okay, they're probably doing fake aluminum, or maybe it is real aluminum, and they try to be more upscale and have a tiled keyboard now, just like how Apple did, and tiled keyboards is now a thing. So
yeah,
it's like everything is trying to be more upscale.
People were paying for those vanity features, and it's the same thing with Alienware. Like, I realize I paid a premium for this laptop. If I were to go to an MSI or a Dell, instead of the brand, the branding, it would have been more plastic because the back of this is aluminum, and most of the inside is too, and it wouldn't have a lot of those other features. But I think that you definitely pay for that quality though, like that. Like I said, it's $1,000 more for pretty much the same machine with a worse video card.
And a better operating system, but...
better OS.
It just all comes down to needs. If you're looking for a computer that you can play games on and travel with, unless you're just playing, your super basic games that can run on anything, then, you don't want to go with a Mac. But if you're not going to be doing gaming, or you're just going to be doing light gaming, then if you have the money to do it, then the MacBook's definitely the way to go.
That's the thing, though. It always kind of comes down to the money.
Yeah,
it always comes down to money. It's like, oh man, we would all love to have, a gaming PC.
Well, the one thing I will say though is a MacBook will definitely. I'll put it this way. For most people, a MacBook will probably last you twice as long as a standard computer because it's not going to slow down. It gets updated with everything. It's easier to maintain. I would say if you're your average user, a Windows laptop maybe lasts an average user, maybe 3 years? A MacBook...
that's actually exactly my exact lifespan on laptops is 3 years.
Yeah, a Mac can easily last someone 5 to 6 years. Without a question, easily.
Well, to be honest, though, a well-maintained PC has lasted my mom 6 years now and counting. Keyword well-maintained with no upgrades. Keyword.
Yeah, but you look over at my end, and granted, I'm a fucking performance hog, and I do maintenance. I don't do as much as Anthony does probably, but I do maintenance on my machine and know how to keep it alive for the most part, unless I spill water on the keyboard during E3.
Yeah, because that's the nice thing. Like, you don't have to do the stuff like Windows. You have to, and it's easy stuff to do. Like, it's not hard at all. But you're asking general consumers. All they know is they're using their computer every day and it's slowing down. That's all they know. Like Mac, don't have to worry about any of that. Like Windows, like every time I turn on my gaming PC, there's like freaking 15 new Windows updates, and they're all like security this, security that, security this, security that. It's like Mac, they come out with their big update, and then there's maybe a little security release maybe every month, and that's it. Like it's literally like I get an update for this, like a firmware update, like literally like once a month at the very most.
Like I remember last year when Tori was going to use her summer cash to buy a laptop. That didn't go through because her college ended up being even more expensive than she thought it would be. She was like, okay, my budget is this, and it was like $1,200, $1,300, and she wanted something that could play games relatively well, and also she wanted something that could play games relatively well, and something that could do all her school stuff, along with a little bit of drawing and then maybe some video work. And I was just like, okay. So, like, at first she didn't have a price limit because she had all summer to save and, was living at home. So I was like, okay, Razor Blade. That's definitely the way we want to go. And then as she found out more stuff about the price of her second semester of college, okay, it was like $2,000 my limit. I'm like, okay, MSI Ghost. And then it's like, okay, it has to be 1,400 or less. And I'm just like, there nothing close. Like you cannot get what is like an ultra book for that price. Like you have to pick one of two ways. Do you want the form factor or do you want the performance? And there are pluses to both. On my last laptop, I went form factor. I got as much performance as I could get for a machine I needed to carry around with me for college. Granted, after about a year and a half, it wasn't playing games the way I needed it to, but it was easy to carry around. My current laptop, I went performance over size, and it was the opposite, where I carried this thing with me at E3 and thought I was going to break my back. Well, because here's the thing, 6.5 pounds, not heavy. We can all agree on that, correct?
Right.
Like 6.5 pounds, that's not hard to carry around. 6.5 pounds over the course of an entire day at E3, on the other hand, that is a different monster. But yeah, like, but on the other hand, though, I'm still playing games on max now, and if not max, very close. Like last year, Call of Duty, I had to turn down anti-aliasing and like 2 other things, but everything else was cranked up all the way. And this year, it's looking like the same way. Like I'll be dropping down to high. Next year, I'll probably be going like mid to high.
Witcher 3, you'll probably have to go down to like medium or low.
Oh, I probably won't be. Like I said, I'm gonna rent that game. Not buy it. So, God, I like that Alien though. Alienware has that graphics adapter thing now, and I'm just like, God, to this day, I'm just like, why did that not exist when I was on mine, when I built mine? I'm just like,
do you really do a lot of portable gaming on your laptop though?
Like I used to, and I wanted to save space. So like the thing is like I was kind of still in that college mindset when I bought it, and I actually still wanted to save space.
Yeah.
But
it just seems like for you,
I said, it didn't seem that heavy like when I was just toting it around until I went to E3, and it was like, oh no, this is like at the beginning of the day I was like, oh, I'm fine, and towards the end of the day, oh, this was bad. This was the most bad. Yeah. But no, like if they had that graphics adapter thing now, that would have been great. But I was a year too early, sadly, and I'm planning to get my TV first. Like that's my primary thing. I want my new TV. But next year is I'll probably have the TV by the end of this year, if not like at the latest tax season, of course. Um, but and then I'm gonna start saving up for that rig, and if I have everything ballparked correctly, I'll probably be picking it up on this thing's 3rd birthday. Oh, so like you said, 3 years, perfect.
Right.
Anyway, what's your piece of news?
So we talked about Apple. Got a little bit more Apple news. Apple has announced the date for WWDC. WWDC is usually always like the same week of E3. E3 is actually a week later than it usually is this year, though. So WWDC is on June 8th. I think last year was on like June 9th or something like that. So if you don't know what WWDC is, it's the Worldwide Developers Conference for Apple. It's the second biggest event of the year. Usually the biggest event is when they announce their iPhone. But this is when they announce pretty much, this is all software. So this is where they're going to announce iOS 9. This is where they're going to announce the new version of the Mac OS, whatever they call it. They'll probably talk about the Apple Watch stuff. It's rumored that they're going to talk about, so obviously Apple bought Beats for like a couple $1 billion.
Man, they paid way too much money to have really overhyped headphones.
But Beats Audio is the premier headphone system for Apple users.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't for the headphones. It was for their software. Because the thing with Apple is Apple's been trying to get in on this market that Spotify and Pandora and Apple has iTunes Radio, but it just has not worked out well. But Beats has various deals with all these artists and stuff like that. Like they don't care about the headphones. Like, yeah, they'll make some money on the headphones, but no, they did it for their services. I also remember, like, I can't remember, I'm forgetting the guy's name for some reason, but the head guy behind the Beats music streaming service is like a god in the music industry. So to be able to secure him as an Apple employee as well is pretty big. So Apple actually recently came out with iOS 8.4 beta, and in it's a new music app with a different user interface. Well, what's pretty much rumored, and probably almost at this point you might as well confirm it, that WWDC Apple's going to announce the rebirth of the Beats music. And it's going to be pretty much their competitor to Spotify, Pandora, and supposedly it's like going to be like this revolution. And I believe it. Like, if you look at Apple, whenever they really come out with something, they kind of revolutionize it. Look what they did with the MP3 players. Look what they did with the phone. Look what they did with computers. Look what they did with tablets. Like, Apple just has that touch. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, there's that. iOS 9 is obviously the big thing. So Apple comes out with a new version of the iOS software. They always announce at WWDC in the summer. They usually launch the beta, then it usually comes out in the fall around the launch of the new iPhone. As far as iOS 9, pretty much the rumor surrounding that is it's not going to be anything like, oh my god, there's all these new features and all this and all that. It's supposedly more on optimization and stability improvements.
My thing with Beats music is, all right, that's cool, good on them.
I mean, I love Spotify. Like, Spotify is like the greatest music service ever. I pay $10 a month. I can download all the music I want to. I can stream all the music I want to. Like, it's freaking amazing.
The problem with Apple, like iTunes Radio, is you can listen to all the music you want to, but all the songs still cost their same price. Like that.
Well, right, yeah, it's not like they're still in the old format. Like, the days of paying 99 cents for a song or buying an album are like dead. Like, yeah, if you really like it. Really like an artist, you may, but like for me, I haven't bought a song or an album in years because, like I said, Spotify. Whenever an artist comes out with a new album, the same day it's on Spotify, I can download it onto my phone.
Yes, like God, what was it? If it's a band I really like or a smaller band I really want to support, I'll absolutely buy an album. But for the most part, I just stream or YouTube music. You know, like for instance, like Ray and I will listen to music while playing games, and like 99.9% of the time, I will just throw on YouTube.
Yeah. That's basically how we do it.
Honestly, yeah, like that's the other thing. Just like, oh, I have a song that I want to listen to. Hey, I've got a data connection. Let me just type the song in. I mean, granted, it's not as easy as having the song and just hitting it up on your music app. But it's still like, oh, I always thought about listening to this one song that I haven't heard in 5 years. Let me type it in.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, as for Beats actual headphones, I think they are you can get so much better headphones for way
Beats
way
is all of,
cheaper.
it's a status symbol with Beats.
Oh, I agree.
You look at Beats and you kind of have the name, you have the look, and I don't know, but apparently, well, it's kind of obvious people like bass.
It's all about that bass.
About that bass.
And No Trouble, yes, that.
Oh my god.
That just happened.
Anyways, but no, it's just like Beats. It's just like, well, to be honest, it probably kind of attaches to that generation where cars had. You remember when we were little, a lot of cars just had really, really loud subwoofers and all that kind of stuff that, you know, that was considered cool.
Yes.
I don't know. I kind of feel like Beats kind of continued that, except in the form of a headphone. I'm no expert on audio, but I remember I tried on Beats and it just kind of felt like, yeah, I'm listening to two subwoofers.
So I have a set of like surround sound Astros, and I think they look way better. And I also think that they sound way better. They do the highs way better. They do bass just as good. And they were $100 cheaper if you don't buy the amp with them, but you don't need if you're just listening to music like most Beats people are. And if you buy the amp with it, you can hook all your shit for games and stuff. So it's like, why in God's name would someone who is like an Audio Technica has amazing surround sound speakers for the cost. So I'm just looking at this.
Like I said, it's like the style. I mean, like we might not like the style, but other people like the style.
Those things are a fashion accessory more than anything else.
And then of course again, it's like, well, people like bass. There you go.
Yeah, like I don't think they look that good.
And the other thing too is that, man, I just kind of ever since I started learning this in like core humanities, it just kind of stuck in my head. It's like you are told that Beats is good, so you say Beats is good because it just has to be. Just gotta have it, kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe I'm applying it the wrong way, but it's just like Beats has somehow established itself as, if you want high-end, premium, status, stylish, quote-unquote quality headphones, Beats Audio.
Like I look at Beats and I just think like, yeah, okay, those are a fashion accessory, and you know they do okay audio, but like if you want like amazing audio quality, you can do a lot better for half the price. And once again, I don't think they look that good. I don't. I think they look kind of ugly, especially when you compare them to like some of the other headphones that are out there.
Having been on a college campus, I don't know how to describe the style, but there's like this certain type of style that Beats just works with. And yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like that headphone that you put around your neck kind of headphone.
I mean, like the thing you wear as an accessory. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like I can do that with my headphones. I don't, but I mean I can.
I know, but here's the thing: it's part of the style.
Like my brother used to have a pair of Beats, and he would literally listen to music in the car, and then we'd walk around the mall, and he would just walk around with his Beats around his neck. I'm just like, why?
So that way, if you ever need to go back to your music, you just put it back on again, easy. Or at least I think that's. I don't know. Like I don't use Beats Audio headphones. I don't even know how people use it.
Freaking jewelry. That's what it's like, a fashion accessory. That's what became really big with the Beats.
Yeah, I don't like it. Here's the thing: if you play games, Astra, and you have the money, Astra should be your first choice. And then like there are a bunch of other options, like Steel Series and Turtle Beach. If you're like looking for general audio quality for music, Audio Technica. You get the most performance for the best price. Like Quinn has a $200 set of Audio Technicas. They're the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn in my entire fucking life.
Are they?
Yeah, like they're super comfy, have amazing audio quality. Like they're great. It's just like
yeah, because with those, when the thing is like Audio Technica, when they build their headphones, they're going straight for sound quality. They're not really going for, oh, people are gonna walk around the mall with these on.
I can approve of the sound quality of the USB microphones.
I can because I reviewed that and it's very good.
The sound quality is good. The build quality of the stand, on the other hand, now that's a different conversation.
That was bad. Yeah, and like I've had Astros and I have friends with Astros, and like if you want to listen to music or game, they're fantastic. They're exactly what you want. They do highs great. They do lows really well. If you plug the mix amp in, like when playing Halo with these on, I can hear footsteps behind me. It's like having surround sound headphones in Halo is a huge advantage. Huge. But yeah. Anyway, anyone else got news, or is that it?
Well, no, just continuing on with the Apple stuff. So, yeah, so they're saying that with iOS, it's not going to be like, yeah, of course they're going to have new features. Their main focus is going to be optimization and stability improvements. That's cool. I mean, honestly, I mean, iOS 8, when it first came out, I know there was a couple stability problems. But at this point,
man, I worked at AT&T when 7 came out, and let me tell you about the shitstorm that caused.
Because 7, that's when they completely redid the operating system.
Let me tell you the mass.
I heard the horror stories of that.
Like iOS 7 was something that should have been a 2-year project, not one. Like that, they tried to fit way too much into a year.
Yeah,
it was way too much, and it showed that way. And iOS 8 was a lot of fixing that, and they're just now getting to the point where it's like, okay, it's fully capable. But the funny thing is, I hate to crush Android, but I mean, I work with Android devices for my job, and even when iOS was unstable with iOS 7 and iOS 8, it still functioned better than Android for me. Like I'm just saying, like Apple, like the level of standard they're held up to is remarkably high. Because if Android was that stable, people are like, oh my god, Android's the greatest thing ever. But Apple slips a little bit and everyone's like, oh my god, Apple sucks and this and that. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what ends up coming out with iOS 9. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I might always adopt the operating system like right when it comes out, and obviously I'll be getting the new phone. It's funny, so my girlfriend, she got the 6 Plus, and I have the 6 because I went to the Apple store. I pre-ordered mine, so mine got delivered to me day one. But while I was waiting for my phone to get delivered, I went to the Apple store. I was like, let me check out this Plus. And I was like, yeah, this thing's way too damn big. I'm so glad I went with the 6. It's like now I'm used to the 6, and it's like now I want the Plus. Cause it's just one of those things where you get kind of eased into it. You go from like the small 5S, and then you're like, this 6 is perfect. And you get used to the 6, you're like, oh, the 6 Plus, that's what I want. So when I upgrade my phone this fall, I'll be getting the 6S Plus. Is what it's probably going to be called. So, yeah, that's on the iOS side. Mac, obviously, they'll probably be announcing 10.11. So right now they're on 10.10, which is Yosemite. So 10.11 is what will be next. There's really nothing at all rumored for what exactly is going to be in this update. Like, I know with Yosemite, the big thing was the iOS integration, which is great. I can't tell you how much I enjoy it. Because literally, if I have my computer, there is not a single thing I need my phone for. Not a single thing. Because I can answer SMS messages, I can answer text messages, I can answer phone calls, I can make phone calls. I do all of that straight from my MacBook because it works with iOS on the iPhone. It's amazing. Completely amazing. So, yeah, like I said, if I have my MacBook, I can do everything my phone can do. It's the greatest thing ever.
So, this is the particular part. Like Apple does their 2 announcements. I actually don't give a crap about their software one this year because I'm waiting to hear on if they're doing a new iPad. Like that's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah, they won't announce the iPad. WWDC is purely software. They'll either announce the new iPad this fall with the iPhone, which is probably what they'll do, or no, actually they'll hold a different event. They like to separate those. So what they'll do is they'll probably have like the iPhone event in September, iPad event in October. So that's what they're likely going to do. But it still impacts you because the new iOS version will be on your iPad. So
yeah,
so,
yeah, it still impacts me. But I'm saying that I want to know, like, okay, should I pull the trigger on this or just wait and see what they're doing with the new one? So probably wait until like September-ish.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, last year they announced the iPhone in September and the iPad in October. And then the other big thing that may actually be, it's going to be mainly software, but they'll probably release new hardware to go with it, is Apple TV. Apple hasn't updated their Apple TV in years. Like, it's just literally just sat there. And Apple TV is actually a pretty good device. I don't know if you guys have used it.
I've considered buying one of those for my mom. So, yeah.
The Apple TV is pretty great. So, pretty much there's a lot of rumors. Apple really beefed up their hiring for people in, like, the television industry. Well, why else for the Apple TV? So, rumors are suggesting that Apple's locked down 25 networks, including ABC, Fox. They've already announced an exclusive partnership with HBO. Supposedly, Apple's going to revolutionize the TV industry, which we really need to see because cable TV sucks.
I'm not.
They completely rape you with the cost and everything like that. So it'd be good to see. I mean, I would love to see something where Apple's like, okay, Apple TV, you pay $15 a month for every channel you want. I'd be like, great, you got my money. You got my money.
Or just like,
you're telling me I can pay $15 for ESPN and get the entire ESPN, but pay $15? Okay, let's do it.
Let me pay, like, the thing I want from the cable company is let me pay less for less channels. Like, I can kind of like, okay, I want the MLB station. I want the NFL channel. I want NFL Red Zone.
You want Nickelodeon?
Like, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. I want ESPN. I want my local channels. And then AMC and HBO. Like, I want 9 channels.
Well, yeah, they've already announced Apple has like an exclusive partnership with HBO where you pay $15 a month and you have complete access to HBO.
Even then, that's still more expensive than just me buying the Game of Thrones DVD when it comes out.
Well, yeah, but if you just want to watch Game of Thrones, but you won't have access to the entire HBO network. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll see what ends up happening there. So, but yeah, the hardware hasn't been updated in years, so there'll probably be a new Apple TV announced. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
it'll be very interesting.
If Apple came out and said, "Fucking pick and choose your channels." You can have anything that's on cable, and you can pick and choose which fucking networks you want. I'd be just like, all the money. All of it. How much? Tell me. And if it's a reasonable price, like, sure, I'd be sold on that.
You know who's really going to hurt from this? Is going to be those channels that you don't really care, but like you scroll through and you're like, oh, I'll just watch this, and it's like on some channel you would never watch otherwise. Those are the channels that are really gonna hurt because those are surviving simply because of the fact that there's people that they have an audience, but it's so tight that it gets expanded because they're thrown on everyone's cable plan. You're like, oh, this seems interesting.
Oh,
but when people get to pick and choose, and they're gonna be picking these bigger networks, those are gonna be the networks that really hurt.
Yeah, it's like the Food Network. Like, I'd never watch the Food Network unless it was...
The Food Network's huge, though. Not for you, but for a lot of people, the Food Network's huge.
I am saying that for me personally, like, I would not have gotten into the Food Network had it been on my cable package. Like, just randomly. Like, I would not have chosen, I'm gonna...
Like, I sit down and I think stuff like...
You ever seen Man vs.
TLC?
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking, like, channels like... Does anyone our age watch TLC?
Like, Breaking Bad's on AMC, and so is a bunch of other really good shows, but, like, Like if I could get like I said, AMC, all the sports stations, and then and then my locals like CBS and shit, I'd be like for a decent price, I would just be like, no, fuck cable. This is what I want.
Yeah, I mean, cable TV is already hurting as it is. I mean, people are going
because it's
straight
fucking
to
expensive.
yeah, they're
man.
going straight to the internet.
Expensive.
Like it's super expensive, and you can get a lot of it what you want to see on the internet if you time it right. Like Hulu and Netflix. Like I wasn't the only season of Breaking Bad I wasn't willing to wait on was the last one. I watched it on cable. That's actually what kept my cable subscription going a couple more months before I finally decided to can it.
Like I do not mind waiting like 5 days for another episode. I love Hulu.
Well, yeah, because it's just like you just adjust your schedule. Like you might be like, oh, you have to wait, but to be honest, you're still getting it once a week or whatever. It's just you get it. Yeah. It's 5 days late, but you don't. To you, it doesn't matter because you watch the episodes 5 days late, so you're still getting an episode once a week. It's just you're watching it on a different day.
Yeah, like it's it's.
You just have to deal with everyone. You gotta be careful when you go to Twitter. People are like, "Oh my god, this person died," and you're like, "What the fuck?
Like,
no, they didn't. What?"
No.
Yeah, like and
spoilers for days.
And here's the thing: if you just want to watch one show, like the AMC is a good network and it has Walking Dead and Comic Book Men and Mad Men, so I would actually pay for that. But let's say all I wanted to watch was Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. A season of that Xbox is like $20. It's way cheaper for me to pay for a season of that show than it is to subscribe to that cable station for 3 months. Like that was a period where that's all I really cared about from television. It was like, okay, sport, Breaking Bad.
Yeah. For me, it was like I don't have TV anymore because I just don't. First of all, I don't have the time to be watching TV. First of all. Second of all, like with sports, so the NFL is even going on right now. So that's really the only sport I watch. Yeah, but I don't like watching baseball on TV. The playoffs, yes, but other than that. But here's the thing, like, it's been the same way every apartment. Well, it's not my first apartment complex, but my second. You guys saw my last apartment complex.
Yeah.
And then this one is that they get all those channels. Like here at my new place, they have like a big ass like community room. And they got 4 100-inch TVs in there. So, like, whenever I wanted to watch a game, I was either at my girlfriend's for the weekend, and her parents get the NFL package, or I just go to my freaking clubhouse and watch it on a 100-inch TV with a bunch of other people rather than just sitting in my apartment watching it alone or whatever. I just go watch it in the community room. So, it's like I have no reason to be paying for TV. I mean, I pay for Netflix. But even Netflix, I don't watch that much Netflix. Like, yeah, I'll watch like an episode or something, or I'll watch a documentary every now and then.
Like, Ray and I are watching through Scrubs. Like, Ray and I are watching through Scrubs right now. I don't know. It's weird, man.
Yeah,
but
I don't watch enough cable to pay for cable is the thing.
Plus, like, I'll say what's pretty great is, like, for example, with like the NFL draft, for example, I was like, shit, I really want to watch the NFL draft, but I don't want to go to the community room. But my parents have TV, so they just gave me their DirecTV login. Because the thing is, like, with a lot of these channels now, if you log in, if you have, like, a DirecTV account or a Dish account or a Time Warner account, you can log in and you can watch what's exactly getting broadcasted on TV, but you can watch it online. So I have my parents' DirecTV login, so a lot of these channels I'm able to watch completely for free. Because I just log in with my parents' DirecTV account. So I was able to watch the draft. I'm able to watch when I do want to watch something live. I'm able to watch it that way. So that's pretty good too. So if you aren't paying for TV, but you know someone who is, obviously don't. I mean, it's kind of don't ask someone you're not super close with. But if your parents or a really good friend or whatever, yeah, I mean, ask them if you can have their login information just so you can access that stuff.
Like, or another example is like, I pay $60 a month for internet. They're like, we'll give you this big ass great package for an extra $20 a month. And like, that has got me thinking about like, well, it like, so
for $20 a month, I would do it.
Yeah, like I'm at the month where it's just like, okay, I need to go haggle with the cable company so I can get get a couple extra premium channels in there. Because if you get, that's the thing, they want you to sign up on a fucking subscription, so you can haggle with them to a cheaper cable subscription.
You could also do something like what we did almost every year to get football was we would sign up for like a better thing for like an extra $10, and we'll be like, well, we'll do it if you throw in the NFL package. We usually do it because it's 10. They're getting more money.
Yeah, like just for free. Yeah, and then it's just like, it's time to renew your NFL package. Are you gonna do it? No, we're gonna cancel our subscription. But wait.
Yeah, come back. Well, I guess we'll stay if it's free this year.
Yeah. So that's what sucks about where I live. And when I moved out here, I was like, "There's got to be more options. There's got to be more options." But I researched it. No, it's like, so I have Cox for my internet. And thankfully, it's not a situation. What?
I have heard bad things.
Well, no. I love. I was about to say I love Cox, but Bremen's not on the show, so you guys COX, okay? COX, get your guys' mind out of the gutter.
COX.
So here's the thing. Cox in Irvine is actually freaking amazing because Cox is pretty much, they started their gigabit out here. So I have super freaking fast, blazing fast internet out here. I pay $50 a month and I get 50 megabit down and like 10 megabit up. It's super freaking fast. No issues with it at all. Absolutely love it. But the problem is they have like a monopoly out here in Irvine. Like if you live in Irvine, you have Cox for internet or TV. Well, for TV, obviously DirecTV is satellite, so you can put that anywhere. But for internet, you have Cox. There's no other solution. Like I can get AT&T here, but AT&T you can only get like their slow basic internet, which no one wants. So it's like if you're in Irvine, everyone, you don't even have to ask what they have. It's Cox, Cox, Cox. So because of that. Because of that, because of that, it's just like
just censoring this part of the podcast out.
For them, it's like, oh, you don't want TV? Okay, not a problem, because you have no other option. Oh, you don't want our internet? No problem, because guess what? We know that no one else provides it, so you can say that you're going to cancel, but we know you're not, because if you cancel, you're not going to have internet at all. So that's the one problem about where I live now. It's like when I was trying to get my internet, I was like trying to haggle with them, but they wouldn't budge at all just because they were my only option. And when they're your only option, then of course not, because they know you need it and they know you're going to get it. And if they're your only option, then well, you're stuck with them. But I'm actually very, very happy with them. Their internet's great. I have not had a single issue with internet. But like when I lived in Glendale, when I lived in Studio City, I had various options. I had Time Warner. I had AT&T. I had AT&T for both locations. But I moved here, and yeah, it's like if you want internet, you're only going with Cox. And if you want TV, then you have either Cox or you can get DirecTV. Yeah, you have to put out the big satellite dish. Like, it's so funny because I've seen all the apartments here have like these balconies. And it's so funny because you can tell what TV service people have because you'll see their big ass DirecTV satellites like on their balcony. Because it's not like a house where you can just put a balcony on the roof of your house. Like the only in my apartment complex, the only place you can really put it is on your balcony. So.
If I had the fucking kind of money to afford DirecTV, that's what I would get. But like once again, I live in a fucking house, so
DirecTV has the best picture quality for sure.
They also have the best channels. Like they have all the good shit for relatively compared to cable, cheaper. Anyway, it's about time to call it a night, gentlemen. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitch, all at The Gamer Access. We're also on the YouTubes. You can find us there. Though stuff does post late, so you want to come to the site first. We are also on iTunes. Please download us there. We'll get more popular, and then more people will listen to us. I want to see us in the top of iTunes list eventually.
Yeah.
As for more content, go check out our other shows. We got Unscripted Access, the Gamecast. If you want something in video, Playing God, Bronson Rants, 6-Minute Access. 6-Minute Access, we check out a new release or a cool game at least every week. That'll be it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.
Yeah.